The question is, I get cramps and spasms during training. For one or two reasons you get those issues. First, maybe because your body's lack of water. Second, maybe the exercise is too hard on you, so you might want to start lower. And third, you might want to warm up. Sometimes people start exercise without warming up.
So additionally, if you're getting cramps and spasms during your training, here's a couple of things to keep in mind on top of what Helen just told you about. Number one, most people will get cramps and spasms if they don't do a proper warm-up. Now, why is warm-up so important? It's because your muscles can't just go. Like if you're 10 years old, if you're 15, if you're a teenager, if you're in your young 20s, okay, you know what? Take this information, throw it out the window, because you probably, I mean, everyone needs a warm-up, but most younger people, they can get away with little to no warm-up and just go. Your body's just primed for that kind of workload. But for anyone who's like me, like I'm in my 40s, if you are 30 and above, if you're 40 years old, if you're a 50-year-old, if you're a 50-year-old female and you're trying to get back into shape, oh my goodness, all of us need a proper warm-up. Now, what does that mean? Like, we hear that all the time, right? All that means is that you need to get your body warmed to a point where if you take the palm of your hand and you just tap the back of your neck, you should have a little bit of sweat in your hand. The reason why that's important is because your body head to toe is covered in this thing called fascia. And we hear about it all the time, like what the hell is fascia, right? Fascia is just, imagine this, it's just this rubbery, elastic, thin layer. Think of like skin that's below your skin, in between your skin and your flesh. It basically helps hold your muscles in place. That needs to get warmed up before you go and do the extra work, like the heavy lifting or the high reps, whatever it is that you're doing at the gym. If you don't warm up the fascia, a lot of times that is the thing that ends up cramping. That's the thing that ends up pulling. And you might, like, way back when I heard that years ago, I thought, well, why is that even a big deal? It's a big deal because if it rips, tears, or gets damaged incorrectly, a lot of times it feels like someone took a big needle and just like stabbed you in it, or they took a big knife and they stabbed you. Like, it's a very sharp, undeniable, really noticeable pain. And it doesn't heal as quickly as, let's say you break down muscle from a proper workout. If you mess up your fascia, you're in some trouble. Now, I'm not a doctor, so I'm not giving you doctor's advice, but I am telling you from personal experience. 2011, I did not warm up my fascia. I went straight into my warm-up routine, which was technically a workout. I heard a pop happen in my foot, and within 4 hours, I was in excruciating pain. My friend had to come and pick me up. I had to wobble into his car, and he had to drive me at 11:30 at night to the hospital, to emergency, because I was in searing pain. It was the worst pain in my life, and it was in my foot. And I thought I needed surgery, I thought I needed crutches, and the doctor says, oh no, you just ripped your fascia. She continues to tell me that it's this tiny little tear in my foot that's probably the size of a little pin needle. It's, imagine like taking a needle and just going pop in your foot like that. And I thought, but that's so small. How could something like that just cripple me? And she said that's why it's so important to make sure you warm up your fascia. Lesson learned. So in closing, don't rip your fascia, give it a proper warm up, and you may notice that the cramps go away, or at least minimize. Warm up, plus lastly, of course, making sure you're drinking enough water. I usually recommend lemon water because it helps sustain itself in the body longer. And if you're wondering how much, at bare minimum, take your body weight, cut it in half, convert that to ounces. So if you're a 100-pound female or male, take half of that, that's 50. That's 50 ounces that you want to drink or sip on throughout the day.
Remember, 50 is the new 30. If I can do it, so can you.